world is dictated by a few elite kings. The American oligarchy has control over everyone watching this video. Who are these elite few? What are their goals, their morals, and how do we level the playing field and take back control of our lives? I would describe this elite similar to dragons hoarding wealth, but these guys are more like fat fucking chuds rotting on their piles of inheritance and stolen money. My point is, today's topic is gonna again focus on how these elite few coerce the working class people of any country really, to fuel the cycle of exploitation and extortion of themselves and their peers. You, the average person, anyone watching this video, are a part of this cycle of extortion. When the richest elite take advantage of the working class, exploiting their time and labor to endlessly fill their already fat pockets. Oligarchy. When the wealthiest few control politics and government. First, let's break down what oligarchy is and how it compares to other models of government. About 6,000 years ago, Aristotle described 6 types of government, divided firstly by number: one ruler, a few rulers, or ruled by the many. Then you divide it by how they rule, more specifically who they serve, common interest or self-interest. Remember these themes for later, by the way. On paper, when you have one ruler governing for the common interest, that would be a monarchy. The opposite of this would be a tyranny. One ruler serving only themselves and their personal interest. An oligarchy occurs when a few people rule only for their self-interest, more specifically a few wealthy people. Aristotle believed the counter to this was aristocracy, where a few people lead to serve the common interest. These people, he believed, wouldn't be chosen based off of power and wealth like in an oligarchy, but instead by their specialization, expertise, and experience. The problem we see today is many oligarchs delusionally see themselves as aristocrats, gaslighting themselves into believing they are special or more capable than the average person. Unfortunately, some working class people fall for this as well. Today's breakdown is going to be just another reminder that these oligarchs are just people.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
If you ask anybody in the United States, they'd tell you that the government is a democracy. There's free speech, free press and assembly, fair elections, an informed public. Right?
Poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
But when power consolidates and rich families slowly expand ownership across industries, their hand in politics grows larger and larger as well. Especially in America, there's been an exponential increase in power and wealth as these rich families lobby politicians into signing bills that only expand their personal enterprise, spreading their greed across the country and planet at the expense and suffering of us working class. For those that are unfamiliar, let's very quickly speedrun what lobbying is and how wealthy families and companies use it to control politics and the American people. Lobbying, bribery spelled with a few different letters. The richest and most well-off companies hire lobbyists to convince politicians to vote a specific way on upcoming legislation. For example, let's say a new bill is proposed that requires apartment complex owners who make over $1 million a year to also have 10% low-income units available. Many working-class families would love this bill, forcing wealthy landlords to lower rent on specific units, providing housing opportunities for families that are struggling. Landlords, however, might not be the biggest fan of sacrificing their not hard-earned money to help a stranger, so they get together with their landlord buddies and form a lobby. This group hires lobbyists, who are most times past politicians by the way, to go out and convince their friends to vote against this bill. They don't exactly tell them how to vote, that would be wrong, but they show up being paid by the landlords and just so happen to have statistics and infographics that are skewed to support actually raising rent and definitely not making more low-income units. You can see how lobbying is just the American English way of saying bribery, where the only people that get hurt from it are the working class people like you and I. To this day, we have companies like lobbying on bills that influence the day-to-day lives of working class families. We could move on and elaborate on who oligarchy benefits, but I think that's fairly obvious. So before we talk about the oppressive, wealthy losers, I want to deep dive into who pays for oligarchy, who suffers in it. The working class people like you and I, our neighbors and peers, line the pockets and give power to these oligarchs, while they pull the strings from behind the curtains. In our last video, we talked about neocolonialism, how companies in the cocoa industry exploit child labor to make a profit. These oligarchs we see today work the exact same way. I mean, some of them are even mentioned in that video and are involved in the same cocoa extortion industry. We brought up the Harkin-Engel Protocol and how these companies lobbied a law forcing made with child labor stickers to be put on their products to instead a voluntary agreement to only reduce child labor by 70%. And after almost 2 decades, they still never got close. Instances like this happen all the time, all over the globe. Working class families suffer to line the pockets of already wealthy oligarchs. This is not a unique instance or a new practice. This is how the world works. While working class families live paycheck to paycheck, these oligarchs hold 75% of the world's wealth. And that's just the top 10%. On the left, we see the total income, and on the right is the accumulative wealth. The disparity is atrocious, but who exactly are these top 10%? People like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Larry Ellison, Peter Thiel. These people have more money than the average human can even fathom. This is $1 million. More money than a majority of people will ever see in their entire lifetime. Some of our families all together have never made this much money. Now this is $1 billion, more money than any family could ever need in their lifetime. Now this is $1 trillion. Elon Musk alone has a net worth approaching $840 billion. That is one man. There are currently over 3,000 billionaires globally. I don't know about you, but the idea that so much abundance exists, yet the richest few continue to exploit the working class families and use child labor to hoard their wealth, while working families live paycheck to paycheck, makes me sick. According to the World Health Organization, 1 in 11 people went hungry in 2024, despite the fact that the world produced enough food to feed all 8.2 billion people. There's this movie I recommend you all watch. It's called The Platform. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it, but it's definitely for more mature audiences. However, the message speaks exactly on what we're talking about today. We start in a random prison-like room, concrete walls, no windows, only beds. Every month you wake up on a new floor with one roommate. Floor by floor, starting at the top, a platform of limited food slowly travels down for everyone to eat once a day. You can imagine how luck plays a huge factor in survival. For example, if you wake up on floor 200, you can expect no food to be left on the platform, leaving the people here to resort to giving up or cannibalism to survive. While we see people on the top floors, dancing and stomping on the abundance of food before them, carelessly disregarding those below who are struggling to survive. The movie wrestles with ideas and attempts to end this hoarding of food and create equal opportunity for everyone to eat and live. It's made clear multiple times in the movie that if everyone only ate what they needed, no one would starve. However, with this fact being known, those fortunate enough to be placed higher up still choose to reside in their comfort and indulge in the suffering of everyone below them, even if only for 1 month. The movie speaks on the abundance we see today in real life and the disparity in allocating that abundance. In the movie, we see our protagonist help this lady spread her idealistic goal. She believes that if she can designate her ration and beg the people below to do the same, they could accomplish spreading abundance. However, very quickly we see the people below dismiss and mock her, barely even pretending to listen. Yet when our protagonist takes a different approach, threatening to shit in their food, they immediately switch up and comply, only eating what they need and rationing for others. However, we are brought down to earth very quickly with one line from our protagonist: "You can't shit up," expressing that threatening self-interest only works if you're punching down. While the lady tried to appeal to the common interest, she was mocked and ignored. But when our protagonist threatened the others' self-interest, their own desire and greed for food, we got instant results. But you can't shit up. Threatening others' self-interest and using force to achieve these goals only works when punching down. You can only share the abundance you have access to. Now, originally I wanted to deep dive specific CEOs and how lame they are and why, but I think instead it would be better to build off of the message of that movie and pick apart how we can motivate others to work for the common interest without punching down. If y'all still want to see a video deep diving lame CEOs, let me know in the comments. It might be the next video. In my video about neocolonialism, I said the way to combat these predatory companies was pushing for tougher legislation and policy. And although I do believe those with influence in politics should get involved, I believe there's more to the fight as well. Not only does freedom from oligarchy require the participation of us working class in politics, but I believe that in a system that forces you to play the cards you're dealt or punch down, the only solution is a new system. We cannot go back to funding rich oligarchs and entertaining the same song and dance. We need to push for entirely new politicians that fight to strengthen democracy and spread wealth. We need to push for new reforms and new higher taxation on the wealthiest people and companies. We need to force big corporations to be broken up, bust it into smaller fractions to prevent and prohibit the price gouging we see today. We need to get money and the rich out of politics. No more donations, no more lobbying, no more funding campaigns with millions of dollars stolen from the exploited working class. We need to raise minimum wage and strengthen workers' rights and protections. In retrospect, we don't even need new taxes on the richest few. We need to bring back the taxes we used to have in the past. And with those tax dollars from gross hoarders like Elon Musk and Bezos, we can afford Medicare for everyone, paid family leave for our working class, free childcare, and even debt-free college. If we reallocate our taxes to focus on taking from those on the top that don't need it and giving it to those families that actually do, we can improve our public schools and libraries and have better amenities in our communities for our children and so much more. And all of this is still within capitalism. But personally, I question the need for privatization entirely. When workers own the means of production and employee ownership is easier to obtain for the working class, we see a cycle that benefits less from extortion of workers and thrives from uplifting its workers instead. Now, if you guys want to see a deep dive picking apart the differences between privately owned businesses and employee-owned businesses, let me know in the comments as well. Overall, the fight against the extortion and the oppression of the working class people starts with you, with not only the awareness of how these systems exploit us, but with the effort and action to change how the system works from within. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more geopolitical deep dives, check out my neocolonialism video I made, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks again for watching. If you made it this far, make sure to like and comment, share this video with your grandma to boost the algorithm, all that fun stuff, you know how it is. Have a good one.